everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is January 27th, 2021, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, there's a reason why I'm wearing my Legend of Zelda shirt. Even though it's Skyward Sword, it's still Link, and that's because over on the my.nintendo.com rewards page, they have a cool new reward available for 1,000 platinum coins redemption. All you have to pay is shipping for the item, otherwise it's free. And that is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity acrylic panel art. I actually picked this up. I thought it looked pretty cool. It's 5 by 7. That's 5 inches tall by 7 inches wide with a 1/8 inch thickness to it. And I think it'll be a nice kind of a poster prop up to put on the wall. It's not particularly large. 5 by 7 is about that right there, but still kind of nice. It looks good. I love the artwork. I loved this game for that matter. I liked how fleshed out the characters were and the unique qualities of the story that you didn't necessarily anticipate coming as just a prequel to Breath of the Wild. So if you're interested, you could go over to my.nintendo.com, and there are plenty of other rewards that you could get that are non-Zelda related, but definitely if you have platinum points, you might as well use them. It doesn't cost anything. You get them anyways just for random events like birthday. They typically give you 300 points, and these things just accumulate. Back in the Club Nintendo days, we had a lot of physical rewards, and then during my Nintendo days, a lot of them were digital, and now we're getting physical again, so hop on that. Pretty cool. Next up in gaming news, Playtonic announced that they will be going through a rebranding soon, and Playtonic, perhaps best known for Yooka-Laylee. They had their open world Yooka-Laylee game as well as their 2D platformer side-scrolling one, and they're a solid company. They're making games these days that feel like modern evolutions of titles from like the Banjo-Kazooie era of 3D platformers, so it will be interesting to see what they're rebranding. What will a new logo look like? What will new games coming out of them look like? Are they going to be handling some of their former IP or creating new stuff? What's going to happen? But should be exciting. I'm rooting for them to succeed, and I will let you know what Playtonic becomes and what happens when that happens. Moving along, a lot of people are into Pokemon. This is Pokemon's 25th anniversary. I like the franchise. I was a big Pokemon kid growing up, particularly with the cards. I have the original 151 set complete. Well, 151 I say because Mew was available a little bit different as part of a movie card, and not the normal 150, but I have all of them regardless. And Pokemon is still as popular as ever, really. We had Sword and Shield having high sales, one of the best sales in franchise history, which is very impressive. And new Pokemon cards are coming out in time for the 25th anniversary. This February 19th, in fact. Here's a look at some of what to expect. We've got a new Charizard, new Rillaboom, new Phalanx. That Charizard card's pretty beefy, 330. That's a strong one. Yeah, a little look here. I thought I would just shed some basic light. Over 190 new cards coming to this. And is it a standard legal deck? Yes, I like that they say that. The series in particular is coming out of Sword and Shield, so that's neat. Look forward to Shining Face coming in less than a month. Next up. I'm excited to get to talk about this. I could talk about my love of Godzilla vs. Kong any day, but I try to keep these segments video game related. Fortunately, I get to have both. I get to keep this channel primarily video game related, but I get to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong without deviating. Why? No, there's not a Godzilla vs. Kong video game coming out, but there is a Tomb Raider Netflix animated series coming out, and at this same announcement, pretty much, Netflix announced that a new Kong Skull Island animated series is coming to them. I thought I first heard about Tomb Raider, and I thought, that's cool, I'm looking forward to that. I like the Tomb Raider franchise. I was a fan of it back in 1996 when it came out, you know, old school polygonal Lara Croft. I enjoyed the different games in the franchise over the years. I liked where the evolution was going, but I became a really big fan of the reboot. You know, when Square Enix had this past trilogy, I thought that they were really fine games. You know, they rebooted the character, you know, different attributes and whatnot, different overall look, costume design, obviously different gameplay, but very solid. And to go in to a Netflix series and have it well done, I'm excited. But then I heard about the Kong Skull Island one, and I'm like, oh gosh, does this make me happy? As you know, watching this channel for a while now, Godzilla vs. Kong in particular has been my most anticipated movie of the last 5 years, easily. I can't wait. I did a trailer reaction video for the film just a few days ago. That was a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the new King Kong versus Camazotz, which is the giant backed graphic novel. That should be cool. Hopefully that comes out before March 31st, which, by the way, is a new release date. Yeah, it got delayed yet again, only by 5 days in the US, from the 26th of March to the 31st. Still coming out 26th in other territories. Kind of weird. This delay by 5 days doesn't really make that much sense at this point, in my opinion, but whatever. I waited years. I could wait 5 more days. And now we get a Netflix animated series. Hopefully it's rock solid. It will be interesting to see at what timeline does it take place. You know, does it take place in the Vietnam era? Are we looking at 60s, 70s Kong? Or we're looking at 90s? Or we're looking at, you know, Kong right before the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, which is a 2021 film. Don't know the details yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So you see, got my King Kong in here, and I got my Lara Croft, both tied in together with Netflix. So thanks to this is video game related, Lara Croft that is, and I get to have a nice little segment and move it on anyways. This is interesting, more traditional video game news, if you will. Over on the Rabbids Twitter page, they recently changed their name to Mario Rabbids. They were previously known as Rabbids Official. So why the sudden change to go from Rabbids Official to Mario Rabbids on Ubisoft's Twitter page for this handle? The speculation is that a new Rabbids game with Mario and co. could be on the way. I thought that Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle for Nintendo Switch a few years ago was fantastic. I ended up buying the game a couple of times over for friends just because I thought, you know, this is so unique. It was the sleeper hit of E3 the year that I played it. You know, I love the Mario franchise. I like the Rabbids from when they were first introduced. I played Rabbids on Wii in particular, and it was a lot of fun getting those guys up to the moon and stuff. Beyond their party games in general, the Rabbids are cute. They're fun, kind of like the Minions, you know. But this game was, and if you haven't tried it out, I suggest checking out Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's really cool, really well done graphics, funny story, good character expressions, but the gameplay, the strategy elements, it's not a strategy RPG, it's a tactical RPG. It's closer to XCOM than it is Fire Emblem, but it's really fun. It's got a lot of charm, great bosses, great, you know, tactical approach to your battlefield and playing characters and weapons and power-ups and stuff like that. If there's a sequel coming, a Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2, or some other type of collaboration between Rabbids and Mario, maybe a more traditional RPG, perhaps, maybe an adventure game of some sort. I don't know what's next, but something's got to be up. This is just speculation. If and when we hear anything, definitely look forward to Video Game News with PGN covering that. But for now, just some fun speculation. And finally, the way I'm going to present this to you is going to be kind of weird, but we've got some first footage of the Super Nintendo World Ride of Mario Kart. Now, this is footage taken off of Instagram from some folks that got to go on the ride early. I'm showing this to you courtesy of Go Nintendo. You can see Rob Meat Cowboy right here. That's my buddy Kevin Cassidy. I've known him for years, I should say. I have given proper credit to Go Nintendo several times on my video game news with PGN segments because they deserve it. They have a lot of news, so when I find something from them, I like to give Go Nintendo credit. I've been friends with Kevin for many years, and he runs a great website. If you watch my videos and you appreciate the fact that I cover PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Nintendo, third-party stuff, deviate a little bit into movies when applicable, like a Mortal Kombat film, then you've come to the right place. If you like my Nintendo parts a lot and you have noticed Go Nintendo pops up a lot, go over to gonintendo.com and check them out because Kevin and co, they update a lot throughout the day and you're always going to get a lot of good news. But that being said, I'm going to push play on this video, and it's kind of shot in a vertical mode, so you might not be able to see it all that well. But here's what it is. Keep in mind, this ride is part AR, which is what you're seeing now, and part real. So I have to go up and down. So you're seeing other characters pop up on screen. Rainbow Road twisting around. It's probably a lot more immersive when you're sitting in the ride and feeling it go forward and stuff. And you'll see that soon you're going to be engaging with different race cars. This looks like a wonderful experience, right? And here you have some real folks. And here's that blend, like I said. We've got some screens and all of this real texture work all around. Meanwhile, these digital effects are coming down because you're wearing the goggles in front of you and stuff. So this ride probably really needs to be felt. It needs to be ridden to experience it properly. But it's cool still seeing a little bit of what to expect. Perhaps Nintendo wants to set up their own specific way of how to show off what this ride looks like, because going from this video, I can imagine what it's supposed to look like, and even then it's probably far cooler, but I wonder how many people are going to look at this and be like, I don't get it, what's so special about it? And they don't want to have the wrong signal. So that's kind of why I'm thinking that they haven't revealed it yet, because they want to try to really capture what the ride is like. Or they just want the pure element of surprise when you're on it for the first time. But regardless, that's a little glimpse, a little teaser of what to expect. We don't know when we're going to get to try it out for ourselves, since the February 4th release opening date for the park has been postponed because of the pandemic and so forth. But eventually we'll get to check it out. So let me know what you thought about the ride so far, the early look, any of the other news stories we talked about today. Here you can see new footage of Super Nintendo World's Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge ride surfaces. Buckle up for a Bowser battle. Thank you, Go Nintendo. Thank you, Kevin Cassidy, for this video footage. And as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate your comments in advance. Stay tuned for more video game news with Paul Gale Network throughout the week, and have a good one till then. Bye.